Today I'm going to be talking about using parallel lines and transversals. We've already learned our angle pairs, but now what we're going to do is we're going to take those two lines. They have to be parallel. Let's do it over here. We have two lines. They have to be parallel, and it's cut by a transversal. Okay? And when that happens, when we have two parallel lines that are cut by a transversal, we get our angle pairs, and they take on certain properties. So our corresponding angles are going to be equal. Our alternate exterior angles are going to be equal. Our alternate interior angles are going to be equal. Our consecutive interior angles are going to be supplementary. Meaning they add up to 180. And as usual, we have our vertical angles, which are equal, and our linear pair, which is supplementary. So we're going to use these properties to solve for missing angles and variables. So first off, let's refresh our memories on these angle pairs. Angle 1 and angle 4, well, those are vertical angles. Then we're going to see 3 and 5. That's consecutive interior. Next is 6 and 8. That's a linear pair. Two and 6. That's corresponding. One and 8. Alternate exterior. And our very last one, 5 and 4, which is alternate interior. So you really need to know your angle pairs to move on in this chapter. So make sure you study your angle pairs, know where they are located. Now we're going to use our angle pairs and our properties to solve for measurements. I tell you that the measurement of angle 1 is 110 degrees. We can use this one piece of information to find all the other angle measurements. The first one that I'm going to use is 1 and 4, which is vertical angles, and I know that vertical angles are equal, so I know the measurement of angle 4 is 110. Next up, I'm going to use 2 and 4. That's a linear pair. 2 and 4 is a linear pair. And if I have a linear pair, that means they're supplementary, or that they add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to take 180 degrees and subtract it from 110, and I get 70. So now I know that measure of angle 2 is 70 degrees. And 2 and 3 are vertical. Vertical angles are equal, so I know that 3 is 70. Now we've got to jump over to the other intersection. What I'm going to use angle 1 and angle 5. Angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding, and I know that corresponding angles are equal, so I know 5 is 110. And then I do the same thing. 5 and 8 are 110 because they're vertical. 6 and 8 is a linear pair, so 6 is 70. Try and write that as nicely as possible. And then 6 and 7 are vertical and equal. Okay, so all we need is one angle measurement to find the rest of those. And we're going to use those properties and those angle pairs to solve. Okay, so next up, same thing, just less information, or I'm finding less angles. It says find the measurements of the angles and state which angle pair you used. Well, let's use 140 and 1. That angle pair is alternate, interior, and I know that alternate interior angles are equal. So if they're equal, measure of angle 1 is 140 degrees. Then I'm going to use 140 and 2. That's a linear pair. And if it's a linear pair, I subtract that from 180, so the measure of angle 2 is equal to 40 degrees. Okay. So list which angle pair you used and find the measurement. All right, let's try another one. Okay. This one, let's start off with the 150 and the 1. That's corresponding. We know that corresponding angles are equal. So that means the measure of angle 1 is 150 degrees. And I can use angle 1 and angle 2, which are vertical. We know that vertical angles are equal. So the measure of angle 2 is 150 degrees. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to throw a little bit of algebra in here. Okay, so first thing is I'm going to label this picture. Measure of angle 1 is 125. Measure of angle 8 is x plus 15. Now I'm going to look at this angle pair, 1 and 8. That angle pair is alternate exterior. And alternate exterior angles are equal. So I'm going to set those two equal to each other. So I do x plus 15 is equal to 125. Solve for x. And we get x equals 110. I have one more for you. Once again, we're going to label the picture. 115 is 1. 4 is y minus 10. 1 and 4 are vertical angles. We know vertical angles are equal. So we're going to set y minus 10 equals 115. Solve for y.